going, Supercar fans? We are here doing the first recap of 2018. The Clipsal 500 in Adelaide had just finished yesterday, and God, so many emotions. It's good to see the cars back out on the track, but yeah, it's just good to see the Supercars and all the other categories back out as well. It had been 93 days since the Newcastle, or 96 days or something like that, between the Newcastle 500 and the Adelaide Clipsal 500. But we are here. This is a new season, 2018. It's going to be very interesting, and we're going to kick it all off very, very shortly. Just want to touch base on a couple of things before we get into the recap. I am in a new location. I've just recently, I don't know if I've actually mentioned this before yet, but I've just recently moved in with Hope, who is my girlfriend, and I am no longer sitting in front, in my room where I'd normally be doing my videos, and there was a hashtag going around that was Supercars towel, and in some of the videos from last year in my room, you would see that there was always a towel hanging on the door, and that's where hashtag Supercars towel came from. So unfortunately there is no Supercars towel anymore. We are in a new location, and also on top of that, we are also selling here the house is on the market. So I'm actually sitting in the garage, and the sun is just sort of trying to make its way through the clouds. It's why my face keeps going white and whatever else. But we are moving, or well, the plan is to move to Queensland very shortly. So again, I will be in another location. I think I'm about an hour's out from Ipswich. So Ipswich will now be my new hometown track, I guess. And we're really, really excited and really, really looking forward to it. But that's all that done. Clipsal was fantastic. Again, the opener for the year always puts on a good show. I know that Robbie Williams last night was really, really good. Apparently, how many people did they say? 26,000 people went to the concert last night. So that's a decent crowd. So, but they had record crowd there yesterday at 92,418 people. That was just for that day, and that is just unheard of. They had to actually close the gates because they couldn't let anyone else in. So, yeah, that was quite good. But anyway, let's hit it off. Going back to Saturday, we're going to start at qualifying. Got the iPad back up and running again. So, qualifying was actually really, really cool. There was no major accidents, apart from, you know, the typical run-ins at turn 8. I don't think no one during qualifying actually ran into the wall at turn 8. We did have a couple during the shootout on Sunday, but everything was all sweet there. But Shane Van Gisbergen for qualifying, obviously there's a shootout as well, but Van Gisbergen showed great pace throughout the whole weekend, just dominated everywhere, really. Scott McLaughlin finished second in the quali, and also James Courtney. James Courtney always goes well at the Clipsal 500. You can never discard JC at Adelaide. He's always shown really, really good pace there. And so is Mark Winterbottom. Mark Winterbottom, he's been quiet a couple of years. Well, even last year he was really, really, really quiet. But again, Adelaide's one of those tracks that he's just really, really, really finds his form. And the same as JC. JC always finds good form there. David Reynolds finished 5th in the quali. Now, Davey, he had a really, really, really good weekend. It was a really, really good effort from him and the team at Erebus. Nick Percat finished in the 6th, being a, what was it, South Australian, I guess, showing good pace there. Jamie Whincup, that's right, I totally forgot. Jamie Whincup did hit the wall at turn 8, so duh. There's the first mistake of 2018. But yeah, Jamie Whincup had a really, really big off at turn 8. Unfortunately, there's no footage to actually show you, but he screwed it up big time and ended up missing the shootout. So, or did he make it? No, he didn't make it. So, wait, yeah, he did. He did make the shootout. That's right, I forgot. But so yeah, he finished in 7th. But obviously, his fastest time gets relegated, and because he obviously brought the red flag out, and he ended up being 9th. So, unfortunate for Whincup. I don't know why the hell there is a photo of a echidna on my iPad. I'm totally not sure about that. Will Davison, the quickest of the Fords. Now, I'm not saying that, like, I know he wasn't the quickest of the Fords because you got McLaughlin and Winterbottom there, but during practice, during the week, Davison showed really, really good pace, and Crompo said to Scaife, did you think that after practice 1 that Davison would be the quickest Ford in the field? And he was like, no. So, big congratulations to Team Milwaukee 230. They're looking very, very promising already, and it's really, really good to have a team that just comes in straight up and finds its good pace straight up. Lee Holsworth, my man, ended up getting into the top 10, so I was really, really happy about that. Obviously, with Jamie Whincup getting relegated back to 9th place, that moved Holsworth up to 8th. And Rick Kelly also getting in the top 10 as well, so he was the first one out in the shootout. Andre Heidengardner actually had a really, really, really good weekend. It was just a shame that he curved top on the Sunday shootout, which was unfortunate there. I'm taking too long here, so I'm just going to ramble through. Chaz Mostert, Scott Pye, Tim Slade, Craig Lowndes, Richie Stanaway, which was the quickest of the rookies, who got 16th. Garth Tander, Fabian Coulthard struggled all weekend, but he'll eventually get there. Same as Cam Waters. Cam Waters had a really, really bad accident on Friday practice, but ended up coming back in. Michael Caruso. Now, I'm not sure how this one is pronounced, but I'm sure it's Anton Di Pasquale. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Antoine. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Tim Blanchard, 22nd. Simona Di Silvestro, again, just struggling to find that pace. She's got the pace there. It's just that she's just got to find that consistency, I guess. Todd Hazelwood, James Golding, and then Jack LeBrock being the 26 car field. Now, because I spent so long doing that, I am just going to jump straight to the shootout. Hope's here. And so's Mike.
You keep barking at everyone. So you can have a little friend for a while.
No, he's just going to follow you.
No, he can stay. He's not getting
Mike,
back inside.
come here.
No, we're actually not.
He's not. No, he's following you. Anyway, so the shootout. So who was first to go out? Rick Kelly was first to go out, obviously, because he obviously finished 10th. But he ended up finishing 7th. But I'm just going to ramble through the backwards order. So Lee Holsworth ended up getting 121.4, which was the slowest of all the cars. So he finished in 10th position. Nick Percat, Will Davison, Rick Kelly finished 7th. Mark Winterbottom finished 6th. Jamie Whincup finished 5th. David Reynolds 4th. JC 3rd. Scott McLaughlin 2nd. And Shane Van Gisbergen, the only one to get into the teens with a 1:19.83. So he started first place, and race 1, guys, the big one, the race 1. I'm gonna put race 1 across my face here. But race 1, it was just the first sound of the cars revving up and just heading down into turn 1 was just amazing. But there was no big accidents in the turn 1 this year. Usually there is, but no big accidents, which was great. There was a great start by McLaughlin, and Courtney with a great start and he ended up getting into 2nd position, and Shane Van Gisbergen went into 3rd. Kelly broke a rear back, the right rear wishbone, and then put him out of the race, obviously. Scott Pye and Jack LeBrock pitted within the first couple of laps. So that was just to get some clean air, I guess. Lap 8. How do you get lap 10 out of that? Lap 8 saw the leaders come in, so Frosty and Wingcup came in. Lap 16, Courtney pitted, and McLaughlin came in at the end of lap 16 as well. The first bad sportsmanship flag went to Scott Pye for the weekend of overuse of the curbs at turn 2. Now, that's not going to be the first time you're going to hear me say overuse of curbs, because there is a lot. Now, yesterday I had, the Sunday race, I had so many. Most of my notes were just people getting bad sportsmanship flags for overuse of curbs. Lap 30, so there wasn't that much between lap 16 and lap 30. But lap 30, Caruso had a very, very odd spin at turn 9. He came in and hit, I can't remember who it was, but he hit someone and it just rotated him. It was like, how the hell did that happen? But yeah, it was just very awkward. Tim Blanchard also got a, I just call him BSF, which is a bad sportsmanship flag for overuse of curbs. And then we had David Reynolds with an unfortunate spin on Wingcup at turn 9, and no further action was done after that, which was good because he was in really, really good contention for a podium. Simona then also got a bad sportsmanship flag. Lap 40, the second round of pit stops happened. Courtney blinked first by Reynolds, or followed by Reynolds and Frosty, so shortly after. That was lap 40. So the crucial lap, I think, was 38 to get tyres and fuel, because obviously they have to do the 140 litre maximum, sorry. They know after the 140 you can't actually add fuel in. Moster, this is actually a quite funny moment. Moster actually forgot which pit bay we was in. He went into, I think it was Nissan Motorsport, and stopped and then continued on to his one, because the PRA and Nissan Motorsport are obviously right next to each other, and he ended up pitting where Rick Kelly was, which was weird. McLaughlin came in to the pits and then rejoined behind Courtney, so that was a really, really good battle. That ended up being really, really cool between them two. I was quite annoyed at this one. Obviously, a 5-second time penalty to Holsworth for a driving infringement with contact with Tander. Now, I'm pretty sure that was at turn 7. No, it wasn't at turn 7. It was at turn 4. It was just unfortunate. Holsworth went down on the inside on Tander. Didn't spin him or anything. It just sort of knocked him out of the way. And yeah, Holsworth got a 5-second time penalty added to the end of the race, which sucked. Which really sucked, but you know, that happens. Safety car, the first safety car of the year came on lap 52. There was debris on the road. It wasn't really that, you know, crash height. It was just a couple of bits of fiberglass and whatever else on the road. They just needed, actually I know where it came from. It was turn 8 and Jack LeBrock lost his mirror and it was on the racing line, so they had to get rid of that very, very quickly. Lap 55, the race resumed. Tander had a little moment hitting Lowndes that turned Cam Waters at turn 9. Now, that kind of sucked, but that wasn't the only thing that happened there. Fabian also had damage on the front left corner. Golding also had damage. Stanaway into the wall at turn 5, and Hazelwood with damage at the rear, which brought out another safety car. So that, yeah, it was quite chaotic after that safety car. And then after that, lap 59, Blanchard hit the wall at turn 8 and then stopped in the middle of the track, which brought out another safety car. So I'm just saying right now, Will Davison just posted a photo on Instagram. I have all the, by the way, I have all the drivers set on notifications for Instagram as well. So guys, if you want to head over to Instagram and also hit that notification for me, and you also get all the notes and race results from the supercars we're showing. But we'll get back into it. Stanaway had a bad sportsmanship flag for overuse of curbs as well. And other than that, guys, that was pretty much set for the end of the race. Shane Van Gisbergen takes the first win of 2018 in front of Courtney and McLaughlin, finishing in third. So here are the results now, guys. I'm going to move out of the way so you can see them in full. You can come up, Mike, if you want. This is Mike, everyone. So we had Shane Van Gisbergen, James Courtney, and Scotty McLaughlin finishing in the top 3. David Reynolds, like I said, had a really, really great weekend, finishing in 4th. Mark Winterbottom 5th. Jamie Winkup 6th. It was a good turnaround after the accident at turn 8 in qualifying. Chaz Mostert 7th. Will Davison in 8th. Craig Lowndes in 9th. Now, obviously, Lee Holsworth had finished 10th there, but he actually got relegated back to 13th. So, technically, Scott Pye finished in the top 10. Then it would have been Garth Tander, and then it was Lee Holsworth, Nick Percat, Tim Slade, Michael Caruso, Cam Waters, Andre Heingardner showed really, really great pace during that race as well. So did Simona, Richie Stanaway, and Antoine T. Pasquale, Jack LeBrock, Fabian Coulthard, Todd Hazelwood, Rick Kelly, Tim Blanchard, and James Golding heading out the whole field, and there was only 1, 2, 3 who didn't end up finishing. So that was race 1, guys. It was a very, very, very good race. I will give it that. My cousin Charisse, who you guys met at Eastern Creek, said to me that she messaged me during the race and goes, "God damn, this race is getting boring." And then within a couple of minutes, the first safety car came out, and that was it. But guys, that is race 1. And race 2, I'm just going to have a little break, have a bit of glass of water. My mouth is really dry. I've got to get used to doing this again, obviously. So I'm just going to have a little quick break, and we'll be back for race 2. Oh my god, I've actually got a spectator here now. Mike is just keen on getting on camera. Gotcha. Yeah. He's pretty keen. So guys, Sunday. Do you not want to do that? Because that's like... It just makes me sound boring when you yawn like that. We had a moment. He's a good boy. Righto guys, so Sunday for race 2. I didn't actually catch the qualifying, unfortunately. I didn't get any results. But I do know the top 10. I did get the shootout. Andre Heingardner got a curve hop, so his time got relegated. But he would have been in the 119s, which was unfortunate for him because only 4 drivers made it into the teens. For that, I apologise too. I'm right next to the garage door and there's cars right beside me. So, for the top 10 shootout, we had Andre Heingardner, Michael Caruso finished 9th, Garth Tander finished 8th, Chaz Mostert finished 7th, Cam Waters 6th, Mike Winterbottom, David Reynolds, Scotty McLaughlin finished 3rd, and then it was a Red Bull 1-2 with Jamie Winkup 2nd and Shane Van Gisbergen in 1st place. But Scott McLaughlin topped the qualifying, obviously, because you can see here that Scott McLaughlin is on top, so he was the first person to come out. I'm like really trying to look here. I'm pretty sure that's where he is, right there. I don't know. But yeah, guys, it was a very, very, very good race too. It was a clean start. Red Bull just... I don't really want to burp again on camera, so... Mike, come here. He's mentioned. Come on, come up here. I've only got 10% battery left on my iPad, so I better hurry up. So race 2, it was a clean start. Stop yawning. Race 2, it was a very, very clean start. Like I said before, it was just very, very odd to have... I can't do this with him. It was a very clean start with everyone getting away cleanly, and it was just very odd to see everyone go through turns 1 and 2 very clean. But you get that, obviously, everyone's starting to race a little cleaner than what they have been in the previous 5 or 10 years. But Red Bull obviously just jumped and they went for it. Courtney and Davison came in on the first lap just to get some clean air and whatever else. The leaders followed in at lap 9. Shane Van Gisbergen rejoined in front of Frosty and Courtney. So Mark Winterbottom came in during that pit stop sequence as well. Jack LeBrock had a little moment at turn 9. I can't really recall what happened, but he locked his wheels and sort of went down the escape road a little bit. Scott McLaughlin then pitted on lap 15 and rejoined behind Shane Van Gisbergen, and that was actually a turning point of the race. And here we go. This is where it gets interesting. Mark Winterbottom overuse of curbs, and then Scott McLaughlin lap 26 had a front tire failure at turn 8. So there was debris. Well, they said that there was debris at turn 7. That's what they were saying. So that put McLaughlin out of sequence, and it was really, really sad too, because obviously he was in second place. A bad sportsmanship flag for overuse of curbs at turn 2 was Simona, and then Timmy Blanchard in the garage, and Holsworth also garaged as well with a broken header, which was unfortunate. That also put him out of contention. He was 8 laps down, but ended up rejoining towards the end of the race. Lap 33 saw Whincup have a mechanical issue. I think it was a transmission, and that was his first DNF in 126 races. That is crazy. And he was coming out of turn 5, and the thing just would not go any further. So he put it in a high gear and just sort of strolled around the whole track. But yeah, that was his first DNF in 126 races, which is crazy. Now, just want to touch something here. James Golding. I don't actually have this written down, but James Golding, oh, I do, but not the James Golding part. But James Golding, everyone knows Gary Rogers Motorsport is now back with the Holden side of things. Now, James Golding's car has a Holden emblem on it. I just want to show you real quick, right? I'm actually going to jump out of frame here so you can actually see the whole car. But I've just noticed something that Garth Tander's car hasn't got the Holden emblem on it. If you look really closely there, it's actually an opal. Now, I don't know what that represents, so I know it's obviously the European version of the Holden, but it was just very awkward to find opal on the front of Tander's car. I only just noticed that. I knew that there was something odd about that car all weekend, because the front grille was just black and it just didn't look like nothing was there. And then during the race I looked at it, I was like, hang on, that looks like an opal symbol, and it was. So I was like, righto, whatever's. I know that's not really news, but it kind of is, because when Triple Eight back in, when was it? I think it was 08, had their last contract with Ford, they didn't actually run the Ford badge on the car. They ran that friggin' Hog's Breath Cafe looking thing. So, ow. Hope he's heard that. But yeah, they ran that Hog's Breath Cafe thing, if you remember. And then obviously being 2009, they jumped into the Holdens. But yeah, it was quite odd to see Tander's car running the Opal. So maybe that might be a sign for next year that they might not be running a Holden in Gary Rogers Motorsport. They might be running a Opal car instead. But that's for next year. We're doing this year. So screw you, Gary Rogers. No, I'm kidding. So we'll go back. Courtney and Pye had contact at turn 4. Now, it wasn't really major contact, but they were side by side. Chaz Mostert was in front of them. They were side by side. It was very, very awkward. I think, who was it that came out of the pits? I'm pretty sure it was Pye that came out of the pits, or it was Courtney or someone. They had cold tyres, and it was Pye. Pye came out of the pits, and he had cold tyres on. Went to block in turn 4. And Courtney just sort of Courtney was on the outside, Pye was on the inside, and they just hit contact on the way out. But it wasn't too much. And with Andretti and Ryan Walkinshaw in the garage, it would have been like, ooh. I can only imagine what that driver's briefing would have been like. It would have been like last year at Pukekohe, where Cam Waters decided to take out his teammates. Because that's who Cam Waters is. He's just a douchebag. Yeah, if you guys have watched my previous episodes, you know I do not like Cam Waters. He's just an ass. yeah, he's a thorn in my ass. Bad sportsmanship flag, getting back to this now. Bad sportsmanship flag went to Courtney for overuse of curves as well. Then we had lap 46. Reynolds rejoined in front of Shane Van Gisbergen and Tander, and it was a great exchange heading into turn 4. It was fantastic. It was great. It was absolutely great. Bad sportsmanship flags went to also for overuse of curbs. Richie Stenaway and Andre Highgander. That was the second. That was the second one for Richie Stenaway for the weekend, and the first for Andre Highgander. And then a black flag penalty came to Richie Stenaway for an unsafe release in the pit lane. Now I'm not sure who he tried to get in front of or who tried to get behind or whatever, but yeah, he had a black flag drive-through penalty for unsafe release. Now there wasn't actually any footage of it, so I don't have anything for you. I just know they got a black flag. Then overuse of curves for Lowndes. Lowndes also got one as well. And then the second one in a row for Frosty with a black flag drive-through penalty for another overuse of curves, puts him out of contention. Now he was pissed. He was absolutely pissed off. There was an interview later on after the race, and he was just angry. Now Tim Edwards also had an interview with Greg Murphy, and he mentioned bullshit on live television twice, and Greg Murphy was just smiling the whole time. He's just trying to do the interview and trying to hold his face. But yeah, Tim Edwards was just, he was angry as well. He was just saying, this is absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And Murphy's just like, yeah, righto. We'll just walk away now. That's yeah, that was unfortunate for him too. James Golding also had an overuse of curves. So did McLaughlin and Fabian. Waters also had one. So did Todd Hazelwood, and ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty much it for the overuse of curves, thank God. But our race winner for race 2 of the year, and here's the results right now. Shane Van Gisbergen finishes in front of Davey Reynolds and Garth Tander taking out the top 3. Chaz Mostert finishes 4th, Cam Waters 5th, James Courtney 6th. Now, unfortunate for him because, you know, he always blitzes at Adelaide. But again, it was a great result for him getting in the top 10. Craig Lowndes, again, also in the top 10. So we're going to see Lowndesy sort of a little bit this year. We didn't really talk much about Lowndesy last year, but hopefully we get to talk about him again this year. Scott Pye also, again, finishing in the top 10. Michael Caruso, a good finish. Scott McLaughlin finishes 10th after that tyre failure at turn 10. Tim Slade, Will Davison, and Will showed really, really great pace throughout the whole weekend. Congratulations to Team Milwaukee for that. Mark Winterbottom also out of contention with the black flag, so he finished 13th. Rick Kelly, Nick Percat, Fabian Coulthard, Antoine De Pasquale, Simona Di Silvestro in 18th, James Golding 19th, Richie Stenaway, Todd Hazelwood, Jack LeBrock, Tim Blanchard, Lee Holsworth also rejoined the race after that as well, so he finished 24th. Andre Heidengardner finished 25th. He came back out obviously with the damage, and the big one, Jamie Whincup, only got to 30 laps before the DNF. So guys, that is race 2 and round 1 done and dusted. I am so happy to be back doing these things for you guys. I can't wait. 2 weeks from now will be the Australian Grand Prix, and again, I'm looking forward to giving you guys the results, all the qualifyings. Might even start doing practice now, I don't know, but it's good to be back. 2018 is going to be a really, really good year this year. There's a lot of things going to be happening to the channel. Throughout the year, it's going to be happening. It's not just all going to happen at once, but we're slowly building towards new things for the channel. So obviously stick around for that, guys. But that is round 1, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure if you did enjoy it, hit that like button as hard as you possibly can. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you hit that icon to let you know when the videos are uploaded. And guys, I shall see you in 2 weeks for the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne. That literally just gave me goosebumps. Guys, it's good to be back. Do all those good things, and I'll see you in 2 weeks in Melbourne. Cheers. Guys, this is actually quite a little thing I want to put together here. It's kind of like a little competition. Again, just like how Joey Harper won the rights to the renaming, and again I couldn't thank him enough for that. But I'm gonna also do another competition here. I want to first give a shout out to my cousin Charisse. She had this really cool artwork that she did for the channel. I'm going to post it up now. Just basically, she's really cool at what she does. Had the idea on designing a new logo for the channel, I guess. And it looks really good, and I couldn't thank her enough. The time that she put into it was really cool. She also did another one, and that is also really cool too. So what I might do, guys, during each race weekend, what I might do is, if you guys have any great ideas on artwork for the channel, send them down to me, and I will personally post them on the Instagram page, and also at the end of each race weekend I'll post them up on after the recaps as well, to show you guys much appreciation that you guys are still here and watching these recaps as well. So guys, if you have any great ideas with the supercars with Shane, be creative, do something cool. There's going to be a competition for the best one at the end of the year. Not sure what the prize will be yet, but I'll sort that out during the end of the year. Who knows, it might be another poster. It could be anything. It could be a piece of memorabilia signed by your favorite driver, or the whole grid, or anything really, anything. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, guys, if you have some amazing artwork that you'd like to share with Supercars with Shane, I'm gonna leave my email address right here. Personally send them to me through that, and I will post them up on Instagram, and obviously at the end of each race weekend as well. And that'd be cool. I could have either 5 a week or freaking 20, but I will promise to you guys that I will post every single bit of artwork for you guys. They will be in. They will also be in the recaps as well. I'm not going to post them into a different video. They will be part of the recap. And if you guys see it, obviously hit that like button. And yeah, that'd be really cool. So guys, if you have, like I said, if you have any great ideas for the Supercars with Shane, make sure you work hard. It doesn't matter if it's dodgy or if it's a work of art. It doesn't really matter. I'm not too biased on it. I will promise and guarantee that I will post up every single bit of artwork for you guys that you have any ideas for. That'd be really cool. So make sure I will send, again, put the email address down there. I'll also whack my email address in the description below, so you guys know, and just send me a link to the photo, and make sure you also put your name in as well, so I know whose is who. But guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the recap today, and yeah, I'll see you all in 2 weeks for the Australian Grand Prix.